So the teaser at the end of the Air Riders Direct got a lot of people speculating about a story mode, and while I agree, I think there could be a little something more going on here than just the story mode. What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to Go Play Hero. So first off, I just gotta say that Direct was amazing. It was absolutely everything I ever could have wanted in a Kirby Air Ride sequel. I've been waiting for so long for this. It was basically just the GameCube Air Ride, but with more, and I kinda love that. It really didn't need a ton of new crazy stuff. It was just Air Ride, but bigger city trial, more ways to ride, more characters, and another button, a second button. This is crazy. I loved Kirby Air Ride as a kid. Unfortunately, my friends didn't love it as much, but I still got a good amount of rounds in back then. And then growing up now as an adult, I have a group of friends that they just will literally pop in Kirby Air Ride for fun on the GameCube, just like any other modern day game that came out. I love it. I'm still kind of cheeks at City Trial, but I'm gonna work on it. I swear, I'm gonna get good, and y'all just wait. It definitely made me think about F-Zero. Nintendo's excuse for years for not making another F-Zero for 20 plus years at this point is because they just don't have a good enough hook, a unique enough idea, and this is a great example of why you don't need a crazy new gimmick or twist. Like I said, Air Riders is legitimately just Kirby Air Ride, but it looks way prettier and it has more stuff in it. That's it. There's no new mechanic that completely changes the way you play the game. There's no new huge aesthetic change or anything like that. You don't need to do that, especially for a franchise that hasn't even had a mainline entry in 2 decades. Like, there are people who were born when F-Zero GX came out that are now like in their 20s. They can drink. Many people have probably never even touched an F-Zero game. And it's similar with Air Ride. People have not played Air Ride. So all you really have to do is just take what you did before and enhance it. And I hope they do that with F-Zero because it's working beautifully with this game. It is so gorgeous. These tracks just blew me away. The ocean level, oh my goodness. But primarily I really want to talk about the ending reveal. Obviously, word on the street is this is probably some form of dark matter. If you don't know what / who dark matter is, I'm not going to get into all the details because, believe it or not, Kirby lore is kind of crazy. But basically, dark matter is both a species / force of nature and also kind of a character too. It's this dark negative energy that manifests in a lot of different ways, usually creatures with like one eye, and they've been known to possess characters, take over their body, make dark versions of characters. And then we have Dark Matter Blade, which is kind of its own character, its own unique version of dark matter. This is like the main dark matter, kind of how there's a bunch of Toads or a bunch of Yoshis, but then you have like, you know, the main Yoshi, the main homie, you know what I'm saying? So this is not a homie, this is an op for sure. And yeah, there's definitely a resemblance here. This definitely looks like some kind of dark matter, but it doesn't look exactly the same. It looks kind of like Dark Matter Blade, but obviously the eyes are a lot different. You have like a literal exhaust pipe coming out of its face, which is really, really dope. I love that design choice for Air Ride. People have pointed out that this is probably some dark matter form of DDD. DDD has been possessed by dark matter in the past, and you can see that, yeah, this character definitely has sort of a crown that resembles DDD and has the big gloves and is also riding a wheelie, which is the vehicle that King DDD rode in the OG GameCube Kirby Air Ride. So yeah, a possessed dark matter Air Ride DDD makes a lot of sense. This could definitely be part of the story mode. Actually, I really hope it is part of the story mode. Obviously, we don't have full confirmation. We thought that World of Light and Smash Ultimate was going to be a story mode, and it kind of was, but not really. It had some cutscenes at the beginning and then some cutscenes at the end, and that was more or less it. It wasn't a full-on subspace emissary type experience like in Brawl, and we know that Sakurai has been wanting to steer clear of story modes, at least in Smash, because the Brawl subspace emissary leaked. I actually had no idea it leaked at the time. I thought they were officially released, and I watched a bunch of cutscenes. I had no idea leaks were even a thing. I was in middle school, so I was just like, oh cool, there's cutscenes online. The game's not even out yet. That's neat. But yeah, I was a dumb little 12, 13-year-old. But that's why Smash 4 and even Ultimate never got a proper story mode. So if this is a full-on story mode, can maybe see Smash Bros. 6 Subspace 2, maybe? please? It could also be some other kind of mode. It could be like a boss rush type vibe. We already know that there are some returning bosses coming to like city trial, stuff like that. Or it could be some kind of mode that we can't even make up because Sakurai is a mad science genius and he comes up with the craziest stuff sometimes. Like I never would have been able to come up with the idea of spirits based off of nothing off the top of my head. So this could be some other new mode that we can't even predict right now. But whether it is a new mode, whether it's story mode or what, I do think it would be interesting if this was actually a game mechanic. Like I said, dark matter isn't just the one character or the one form. Dark matter takes a lot of different forms throughout the Kirby series. So I think it could be dope to like maybe get different dark matter versions of all of the characters, or maybe even have dark matter be some sort of copy ability. Now that all the characters get the copy ability, it would make sense that if this is DDD, he just absorbed the dark matter, and that's what this tornado formation is basically. This is him capturing the dark matter in one of the courses or in one of the modes. But then every character will be able to capture dark matter and use it during the races, during the challenges, city trial, whatever have you. Now, as for what the mechanics would be, honestly, I have no idea. We know dark matter can shoot lasers. I feel like that would be kind of a lame power, all things considered, but I guess it's possible. Dark matter, like I said, is known to possess, so maybe if you get hit with dark matter, it's actually not a good thing. Maybe it's more of an obstacle where you lose total control of your vehicle and you can't do anything for a few seconds or until you get hit or something like that. Or it could invert the controls. Or maybe if you get the ability, then it turns someone else into a dark matter creature and then they lose control of their vehicle. Again, kind of a simplistic thing for something so cool and badass, so I doubt it's something that basic. There's also these weird floating islands in the trailer behind this dark matter character. I have no idea what this is. It looks like it's just part of the terrain. It might just be for aesthetic purposes, but it's possible that this dark matter power, if it can be a copy ability, it could maybe change the terrain around you and completely alter the path. I don't know. I just think it would be cool to get dark matter versions of everyone, but obviously that's a lot of work. That's a lot of time, but it would pretty much just amount to a different skin for everyone. And we see that everyone gets different hats and stuff like that. So maybe the big exhaust pipe coming out of the face, which is so sick, by the way, could basically serve as the quote unquote hat. Like we see in Smash Bros, not all of the Kirby hats are strictly hats. I should also point out, Gooey is made of dark matter. Apparently, yeah, this thing is darkness incarnate. I think Gooey's like the only character that is made of dark matter that can actually feel positive emotion. So if there is some sort of dark matter power, and now that we know Gooey is playable, I'm not sure how that would work because Gooey is already dark matter. Another ability for dark matter is that it can materialize objects and people just from its memory. So it could be kind of cool if it almost randomizes which copy ability you get, and every time you use the ability, it randomizes to another one. Again, these are just things off the top of my head. This is not a crazy in-depth analysis. Obviously, again, this could just be a one-off boss. This could just be a series of bosses. This could just be a few characters that are taking on the form of dark matter, but I'm pretty sure it's dark matter related in some way, shape, or form regardless. Either that or this is Sans. But what do y'all think? Do you think that this little teaser at the end is hinting at a story mode? Do you think dark matter is definitely the character we're seeing, or is it somebody else entirely? And what do you think about the possibility of dark matter maybe being a copy ability rather than just a one-off character? And if that's possible, what do you think that power would even be? Because I have no idea. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe for more Kirby and Nintendo talks like this. But that's it for this one. Peace and hair grease.